for the cover. Jamie Hayter able to kick out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference mentally.
Welcome to the show, WWE Nation. This is SmackDown Spotlight, your update center for matches and news. Hit that bell and let's begin. Hit that bell and let's begin. AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts proved that women's wrestling is no longer just about competition. It's about revolution. The first ever women's Blood and Guts match wasn't just a bout. It was a statement of passion, strength, and unshakable willpower. Skye Blue, Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart, and Harley Cameron stepped into that steel cage and delivered something unforgettable. A performance that blended emotion, intensity, and storytelling at its finest. From the opening moments to the final bell, every second was charged with purpose. This night didn't just raise the bar for AEW's women, it completely redefined it. A night that redefined women's wrestling. AEW Dynamite's Blood and Guts delivered one of the most unforgettable nights in women's wrestling history. The first ever women's Blood and Guts match set a new bar for intensity, emotion, and storytelling. Skye Blue, Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart, and Harley Cameron stepped into an unforgiving steel structure and left fans stunned by their resilience. From the moment the cage door locked, the air was charged with anticipation. Every strike, every scream, and every moment of struggle represented something bigger, a declaration that AEW's women's division had reached a level of grit and fire, unlike anything seen before. The birth of chaos. The November 12th, 2025 episode of AEW Dynamite opened with an energy that could be felt through television screens. The debut of the women's Blood and Guts match was more than just another main event. It was a historic turning point. The cage gleamed under the bright lights as Skye Blue and Willow Nightingale stood across from each other, ready to make history. The bell rang, and immediately the two women clashed with unfiltered aggression. The crowd was on its feet as the first few exchanges revealed the raw emotion behind their rivalry. Every move carried purpose. Every hit echoed the hunger to prove that the women could steal the show. Skye Blue's moment of endurance. Within minutes, Skye Blue was tested like never before. After being thrown hard against the steel structure by Willow, she stumbled, but refused to stay down. The audience gasped as the camera caught her wiping at her face. But what stood out most wasn't the blood. It was her refusal to give up. Skye showed the determination of a true competitor, pressing forward despite the punishment. The visual of her pushing through the pain captured the very essence of AEW's spirit. She embodied courage under fire, a fighter determined to finish what she started. The fans responded with thunderous support, rallying behind her every move. The power of Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale controlled the early stages with a performance that reminded everyone why she's considered one of AEW's most powerful athletes. Her strikes were heavy, her movements deliberate, her energy relentless. Every slam and forearm carried a statement. That kindness and strength can coexist within a competitor willing to go to war. Willow dominated large portions of the opening exchanges, pulling Skye Blue into harsh collisions and grounding her with sheer force. Yet, behind every impactful moment, there was respect, a silent acknowledgement that both women were creating something special. The chemistry between them fueled the intensity and set the tone for the night. The arrival of Julia Hart. Just as it seemed Skye Blue's spirit might break, the sound of Julia Hart's entrance sent a surge of energy through the crowd. She sprinted to the ring, entering the cage with fearless determination. Her arrival changed the entire rhythm of the match. Working in perfect tandem with Skye Blue, Julia brought balance. Calculated aggression paired with Skye's raw energy. Together, They executed a double powerbomb on Willow that rocked the structure and drew one of the loudest reactions of the night. For a moment, the two friends stood united, bloodied, but unbroken, showing that teamwork could shift the tide in the most chaotic environment AEW has ever built. Harley Cameron enters the war. The chaos escalated further when Harley Cameron made her entrance. Carrying a steel chair and an attitude that radiated confidence, she wasted no time asserting control. Her presence added an unpredictable edge to the match, and every swing of the chair felt like a statement of dominance. Cameron targeted Julia first, cutting off her momentum before turning her attention to Skye Blue. The crowd reacted to every impact with disbelief, unable to look away from the sheer intensity unfolding before them. What made this moment so powerful wasn't just the violence of the match, but the artistry of it. 4 women creating a story through pain, perseverance, and pride. A division transformed. As the battle continued, exhaustion began to show on every competitor's face, yet none of them backed down. Skye Blue, despite being pushed to her absolute limits, continued to fight with heart. Her blood-streaked face became an image that symbolized the evolution of AEW's women's division, an image not of brutality, but of bravery. Julia Hart's strategy, Willow's unmatched strength, and Harley's ruthless aggression came together in a perfect storm of athleticism and storytelling. Every fan in attendance understood they were witnessing a shift, a moment when AEW's women shattered expectations and carved their legacy into the company's history, the defining image of blood and guts. By the time the final bell rang, the women had turned the blood and guts structure into a living monument of passion and endurance. Skye Blue, covered in the aftermath of battle, stood tall with the crowd behind her. Her performance wasn't about winning or losing. It was about heart, courage, and evolution. Julia Hart shared a brief embrace with her ally, both women exhausted, but smiling through the pain. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron lay at ringside, drained from their all-out effort. But both had proven their place among AEW's elite. The final visual. Skye Blue. Standing center ring beneath flickering lights, a symbol of strength and defiance, captured everything the match set out to achieve. It wasn't about shock or spectacle alone. It was about proving that AEW's women could not only stand toe-to-toe with the men, but exceed every expectation placed before them, the legacy of a historic night. When the lights dimmed and the crowd slowly dispersed, one truth remained clear. AEW Dynamite's first Women's Blood and Guts match had changed the game forever. What started as a risk turned into a revolution. Skye Blue's courage, Willow Nightingale's dominance, Julia Hart's fire, and Harley Cameron's aggression came together to create one of the most talked about matches. In recent wrestling memory, fans left the arena buzzing. Their social feeds flooded with highlights and admiration. The event wasn't about the blood or the chaos. It was about evolution. It was about proving that women's wrestling can be just as raw, powerful, and emotionally charged as any main event in the sport's history. AEW had taken a bold step, and the result was pure storytelling brilliance. An unforgettable reminder of why fans love professional wrestling.